This is One Novice Shooter's review. Today we're reviewing the RUGER Super Blackhawk Hunter stainless steel. This is a Beasley configured grip, which means that this grip is a little bit longer than your standard American style grips, also known as a European grip. This allows me to wrap my entire hand around the grips. You may notice a lot of single action revolvers leave your hand kind of hanging like this. At least that's the case with me. I've got relatively large hands. The reason I like this is because this gun is set for 44 Magnums, which are pretty powerful rounds, and they deliver a lot of recoil when you shoot them. Most people will opt out of using the 44 Magnum and shoot 44 specials in this weapon. It's reverse compatible with 44 specials, since 44 special round is a 44 Magnum, just a little shorter, which means less powder, less energy, and less pushback. This is a 44 Magnum round. That's what you're shooting out of this gun. I reload my own ammunition, and I reload these to about half the speed of a factory bullet. It's called a cowboy round. This bullet will travel at about 750 feet per second, as opposed to the 1500 feet per second, which is the regular sized hunting bullet. This type of round will take down a bear, will take down most large game, making this a very good sidearm for protection if you're out in the wilderness, or as a primary hunting weapon. It's become a lot more popular in this past decade for hunters just to take out their revolvers and go out into the woods with it. This weapon is a single action revolver, meaning that in this state, with its hammer, which is this thing right here, down, the trigger is locked. Shouldn't by any means discharge until you physically cock the hammer back, which means doing this. And you can see by doing so, I rotated the cylinder, which contains 6 bullets, and it sets the trigger up all the way back here. Now when I press down on the trigger, it'll cause the hammer to come down, it'll strike the pin inside, and it'll make the gun go boom. Once that happens, the gun sets itself back to that non-firing state, meaning that the hammer doesn't swivel back because of the recoil. It's set like this, and again, you can't do anything with it until you, once more, pull the hammer back and start the process over. This gun has a transfer bar, which is now standard with most Ruger revolvers, which is that flat piece of metal right there. This transfer bar is supposed to make the revolver much safer, due to the fact that the old revolvers wouldn't have that piece of protection there. Therefore, if somebody half-cocked or quarter-cocked their pistol, either by snagging it on their clothing or just by trying to pull it back and then having your thumb slip, doing that could have made the gun go off, and of course you don't want that happening. Being a single action, being slightly nostalgic, it's got the old access gate, which means you open the gate here on the side of the revolver, which gives you access into the actual cylinder there. That's how you load the weapon. That's also how you unload the weapon. You take a bullet, and again, no primer, no charge. This is a dummy round for demonstration. Never put live ammunition in your gun until you're ready to shoot something. You load the round into the cylinder, and then you physically rotate the cylinder, and you do this 6 times. You close the gate, which locks the cylinder in place. Then you're ready to go. When you're ready to unload the weapon, you do the same thing, except this time you use a ejection bar, which is right here. This thing, it's spring loaded, and basically what you'll do is you'll line up the spent shell like so, and then you press down on this ejection bar and it pushes it out, and then you rotate again and you push it out. Unless you have long fingers or a really good system of doing this, most people find it bothersome, but it's something you get used to, and to be honest with you, it doesn't bother me at all. This is a 7.5-inch barrel, which is really good if you're a target shooter like I am. This weapon has a flat mounting bar on top of the barrel, which makes it kind of look neater, bigger. 2 notches for the rings that come with it. Again, the rings are Ruger rings that match the finish of the weapon. They look really nice, and you can go ahead and put a scope on it if that's what you want. Personally, I'm very happy with the iron sights. They're adjustable back here. This one, of course, is set. The only modification I've done is just put a little bit of white target paint on the front one and the back one back here, just to allow me to acquire a target a little easier when I'm in an indoor range. Black on black gets a little fuzzy in your eyes when you're dealing with it for a while, especially in a backlit situation. Other than that, that's pretty much it. There's the care for this weapon is relatively simple. You remove the cylinder here by depressing this safety notch, removing the axle rod, which just causes the cylinder to fall out, and that's the only part of the gun that you disassemble to clean it. Everything else is screwed on or bolted together, and really shouldn't require you to take apart to give this gun a good cleaning. Takes about a minute to take it apart, a minute to put it together. Maintenance for revolvers is much more simple, in my opinion, than an automatic, since there's no real moving parts or slides that you have to take care of, that you have to inspect for abrasion. You just need to make sure you don't overload this weapon, and that you look over it from time to time. I generally clean this every 100 rounds, give it an inspection every 500 rounds, and so far it has not failed me, and it really hasn't failed to impress me with its accuracy. If I can be of any further help, feel free to shoot me an email. I'll try to answer all the questions as best I can. I hope this has been somewhat enlightening, and when you go out there the next time, just remember, be safe, have fun, and enjoy yourself.